I talked to Manny on the phone, and he wants to fight one more time.
He wants to fight one more time.
He does. Kid can fight because he had speed and he had power, and it's very, very hard to get those two together
at that size.
Yeah.
Everyone buried him early. After that devastating 2021 defeat against Yordenis Ugas, Pacquiao didn't just leave boxing, he walked away entirely, stepping into politics while fans replaced expectations with nostalgia. Then everything shifted. At 46, carrying every hard round on those knees, Manny returned. Not for exhibition, not for farewell. For war. Freddie Roach, the Hall of Fame architect who weaponized Pacquiao's genius against the world's finest, is watching those combinations land again. Same sharpness, same explosiveness. His verdict carries zero hesitation. Pacquiao doesn't. Just face Mario Barrios. He defeats him completely. When Roach speaks, listen carefully. This transcends an ordinary comeback narrative. It's a reckoning, a living legend pushing back against time, defying logic and challenging everything we've accepted about aging fighters. Freddie Roach is holding that door wide open for one final war. Because in his mind, Pacquiao never stopped being great. He simply paused. It began quietly. Blurry footage of mitt-work surfaced online. Then sharper clips emerged Pacquiao in full gear, moving through Wildcard Gym with that unmistakable rhythm. No announcements, no press conferences, just pure motion and explosive speed. Suddenly, fans who had completely moved on were locked to their screens asking one question: is he genuinely returning? Pacquiao had transformed into a senator, philanthropist, and living monument. Most assumed handshakes had permanently replaced punches. The Ugas defeat felt conclusive not because he performed poorly, but because exhaustion showed. But true warriors never quit from fatigue. They stop when purpose disappears. Now purpose has returned Mario Barrios, powerful, young, and dangerous. The man who dismantled Ugas, the same fighter who ended Pacquiao's last chapter. That victory placed Barrios on a map Roach and Pacquiao are determined to completely redraw. Media critics questioned everything. Why attempt this at 46? Desperation? Ego? Roach silenced every argument with one calm, devastating response. This isn't about money. Manny genuinely believes he wins. That's not blind loyalty speaking, that's 2 decades of shared battles talking. Roach has stood beside Pacquiao through wars that would have permanently broken lesser fighters. Barrera, Marquez, Thurman. Every time the world expressed doubt, Manny delivered proof. This isn't desperation. This is unfinished business. And Roach is betting everything on the man whose fists once moved faster than cameras could capture. Barrios. Maybe younger, taller, and fresher, but he's walking into something entirely unfamiliar. Not merely a fighter, not simply a legend. A storm that never learned how to surrender. If Pacquiao is the fire, Roach is the spark that ignited it. Their bond extends far beyond trainer and fighter. It's built entirely on belief. Roach carries Parkinson's disease. His hands tremble. His voice sometimes fades. But the moment those pads go on, everything steadies. That isn't medicine working. That's pure purpose. Before Pacquiao, Roach was simply a tough fighter with broken hands and fading opportunities. When the spotlight disappeared, he remained stubbornly loyal to the sport inside 4 sweat-soaked walls called Wildcard Gym. Then, a quiet, wiry teenager from the Philippines walked through that door. Barely spoke English, but when he hit those mitts, Roach felt something extraordinary surge through his bones. Pure lightning. He had trained countless fighters, but this was something entirely different. 2 decades later, Roach still watches Pacquiao with that same intense, unwavering focus. That's precisely why people listen when he speaks, because Freddie never sugarcoats reality. He's previously advised Manny against fighting. He's guided other warriors into retirement when their reflexes dulled and their legs betrayed them. But not this time. His message carries no hesitation whatsoever. Pacquiao can defeat Barrios. Sharp, powerful, powerful and smarter than ever before. That final point matters most. Roach isn't expecting Manny to outrun youth. He's expecting him to completely outthink it. This isn't the reckless, brawling Pacquiao of earlier years. This is the evolved, calculated version. Still explosive, still unpredictable, but now operating with surgical precision. Behind that precision stands Roach, meticulous, brutally honest, and utterly relentless. Where others see 46 years, Roach sees 12 rounds of pure data. He's already identified how Barrios drops his left shoulder after throwing hooks, how he retreats in straight, predictable lines. He doesn't just see a path toward victory, he sees a detailed blueprint already being executed. For Roach, this fight represents something far greater than another payday. It's the final movement of a symphony carefully composed across 20 remarkable years, ending with Barrios hitting the canvas. But Barrios isn't some carefully selected soft opponent. He's genuinely dangerous, tall, durable, and physically imposing. At 5'10", with a 71-inch reach, he dismantled Ugas convincingly, instantly establishing himself as a serious threat. Here's the critical distinction, though. Defeating Ugas doesn't guarantee readiness for Pacquiao, particularly a Pacquiao still, sharpened daily by Freddie Roach, because Roach doesn't see Barrios as an insurmountable obstacle. He sees him as a puzzle, and puzzles always have solutions. Barrios brings structure, but structure becomes a weakness when it's this transparent. Every combination follows a familiar blueprint. That jab, same. Trajectory, same timing. Every single round. His pressure inside looks threatening until you realize how clearly it announces itself. Roach uses one word: predictable. Translation: vulnerable. His legs never quite sync with his upper body. The moment he resets, his base flattens completely. Against someone like Pacquiao, that split-second window gets brutally punished. Push Barrios backward and everything deteriorates. His rhythm fractures. His timing evaporates. Controlled unpredictability destroys mechanical fighters. Always. That's Barrios' greatest vulnerability. The rhythm he depends on will be systematically dismantled by movement he's genuinely never encountered. Roach understands this. Pacquiao understands this. If Barrios cannot adapt mid-fight something he's never been forced to do at this level, he won't simply struggle against the storm. He'll disappear inside it. At 46, training smarter completely replaces training harder. That's the quiet gospel. Roach has been delivering inside wildcard gym. Every single minute carries weight. Every punch serves a specific purpose. Sessions conclude not with exhaustion, but with clarity. This camp wasn't designed to recreate Pacquiao's past. It was engineered to weaponize everything that remains. Roach operates by one principle: this camp: zero wasted energy. Every combination gets reviewed. Every session gets documented. Fewer rounds, deeper analysis. Less physical punishment, greater strategic clarity. Pacquiao no longer trains to destroy his body. He trains to preserve it, sharpening only the weapons needed for 36 focused minutes. Recovery itself becomes tactical. Cryotherapy, molecularly precise nutrition, LED reflex training replacing excessive sparring. A dedicated movement coach now analyzes every step, rotation, and breath between exchanges. When time works against you, science compensates. Manny always had ring intelligence, Roach stated firmly. We're simply maximizing it now.
Oh, down goes Thurman! And let me tell you, that was just a quick punch. And Manny Pacquiao moved in with his legs and his...
That's what makes this version of Pacquiao genuinely terrifying. Perhaps half a step slower, but now thinking 3 steps ahead. This isn't a fading champion desperately chasing one final payday. This is a craftsman carefully completing his greatest work. Roach isn't reconstructing Manny. He's uncovering what time never touched. If Barrios loses sleep, it won't be over knockdowns. It'll be over things he simply cannot locate. Punches materializing beneath his chin, feet disappearing between blinks. A smaller man transforming the entire ring into a carefully constructed trap. That's the Pacquiao experience. Roach has always described it perfectly, not just speed, but completely unpredictable speed. Not combinations of 2 or 3, but 7, 9, 10 punches arriving simultaneously from angles that defy conventional logic. All while moving, all while slipping, all while smiling. Barrios is orthodox, rhythmic, and jab-dependent. Comfortable behind distance and structure. Historically, that's Pacquiao's favorite type of opponent. Ask De La Hoya, ask Cotto, ask Thurman. Tall, powerful, structured fighters who blinked once and discovered themselves pinned against the rope, with a left hand already detonating against their cheekbone.
Caught Thurman backing up. Thurman thought he could back up quick enough, but he wasn't quick enough to get it out of the reach of that punch.
Retreating in straight lines against a southpaw is essentially surrender. Roach understands this completely, and he's absolutely correct. Pacquiao follows like a shadow, unleashing combinations while constantly advancing. Barrios has faced left-handed opponents before, but never one who completely dissolves the boundary. Between offense and pure movement, Roach calls it the slingshot, drawing opponents forward, then launching diagonally, arriving from angles that register too late to defend. Raw speed is secondary now. Deception is the primary weapon. Pacquiao's feints function like grenades. His feet strike first. Barrios will repeatedly swing at empty air. Barrios carries genuine power and relentless pressure, but chasing a ghost guarantees exhaustion. Every attempt to corner Pacquiao leaves him reaching, swinging, connecting with nothing, because Manny's deadliest weapon was never his hands. It's his ability to vanish completely and resurface precisely where opponents are most exposed. Roach insists that particular gift never aged a single day. Bodies age. Instincts wired into bones simply don't. Barrios must outthink Pacquiao's mind, not just survive his body. People misread the flurries as chaos, but chaos doesn't capture 8 world titles. Intelligence does. Strategy does. This is Pacquiao's final masterpiece. If this breakdown fired something inside you, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. The next breakdown drops soon. Don't miss it.